Everybody's been talking, and it's wild. What started as a normal weekend flex has turned into one of the most chaotic stories the music world's seen all year. GloRilla pulled up courtside to support her man, NBA star Brandon Ingram, showing out like she owned the night. Cameras flashing, fans cheering. She was glowing. But just a few hours later, the internet caught fire. Out of nowhere, whispers started flying that Thee Stallion had allegedly dropped one of the most jaw-dropping leaks the industry's seen in years. A supposed tape involving GloRilla and her label boss, Yo Gotti. Nobody knew if it was real, but that didn't matter. The streets were already on fire, and this story wasn't just about music anymore. It was about jealousy, power, and betrayal. The whole mess really began that night at the game. GloRilla walked in with Brandon, looking proud, confident, and making sure every camera caught her. It was giving main character energy, no doubt. But fans instantly pointed out something familiar. Megan had done the same exact thing months earlier, cheering courtside for her man, Klay Thompson. Coincidence? Maybe.
When I heard about this alleged beef between GloRilla and Thee Stallion, which Thee Stallion is minding her own business, booked and busy, I immediately thought about this interview and had to rush and look back and find it.
But fans don't believe in coincidences. They started calling GloRilla a copycat, saying she was trying to mirror Megan's moves. And from there, the comparisons got brutal. What should have been a lighthearted courtside flex turned into an online circus of shade and suspicion. And if you think that was petty, the next move made it personal, because Megan allegedly felt GloRilla wasn't just copying her look, she was copying her life. Not long after that, fans noticed something else. GloRilla had a new stylist. But not just any stylist, EJ King. Yeah, that EJ King. The same guy who used to be Megan's right-hand man, dressing her for red carpets, music videos, and tours. When GloRilla popped out styled by EJ, fans instantly connected the dots. And then EJ started talking. He posted about wanting to do more for himself, saying he was tired of working for people who make your work feel disposable.
Everything happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming, he said, "Dance, bitch." And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he shot a couple of times. And I was so scared.
In the car?
He didn't name names, but he didn't have to. The internet did the math. Reports popped up claiming Megan allegedly owed him around $80,000 in styling fees. But money wasn't the real reason behind their fallout. Insiders said the real break came during the Tory Lanez trial, when EJ took the stand against Megan. That's when everything flipped. EJ testified that Megan had been drinking heavily that night and hinted that things got out of control fast. And if that wasn't messy enough, he went on Instagram after testifying, playing the Law & Order theme music. The internet exploded. Fans dragged him for mocking her, and he never apologized. So when GloRilla started working with him, people saw it as a direct shot. Like, oh, you're linking up with her ex-stylist? Yeah, you knew exactly what that would do. And she did. Because right after that, things got ugly. Not long ago, GloRilla and Megan were cool. They toured together, partied together, hyped each other up online. But that bond cracked fast. It all started when GloRilla reposted one of Tory Lanez songs, just a clip, nothing major. But for Megan, it was personal.
I remember thinking in that moment, Meg, do not let your guard down. You still need to have a healthy level of distrust in everyone. You have to protect yourself. And I wound up being right.
She unfollowed her immediately. GloRilla fired back saying, "Y'all internetish, I don't do mess." She tried to act unbothered, but fans knew that wasn't just about a song. It was about loyalty, and Megan saw it as betrayal. From there, it was on site. Shade, likes, unfollows, you name it. What once looked like sisterhood had turned into silent warfare. And then GloRilla doubled down by teaming up with EJ, the one person who had already crossed Megan publicly. At that point, the internet didn't need receipts. They had a story, and it was spreading like wildfire. And then came Yo Gotti. Gotti wasn't just GloRilla's label boss. He was showing up with luxury gifts that didn't look like label bonuses. First, he dropped a Maybach truck for her birthday. Not rented, not promo, gifted, with a red bow no less. A $200,000 statement that screamed, "You're special." Fans were stunned. Then came the follow-up, an 18-karat Audemars Piguet watch worth $65,000. Now tell me that's just label support. The internet lost it. People started asking, are they dating? Is this business or something more? Because the way Gotti looked at her on stage didn't scream artist and boss. It screamed something way more personal. Every appearance together had that same energy, him hyping her up, smiling like she was the love of his life. At first, fans thought it was cute, but the more the gifts rolled in, the louder the whispers got. And then those whispers turned into a storm. Here's where things got explosive. According to online chatter, Megan was allegedly sitting on a secret tape, one that supposedly showed GloRilla in a compromising situation with Yo Gotti and another man. It was the kind of rumor that spreads fast, the kind that doesn't need proof to go viral. All it takes is one tweet, one anonymous source, and suddenly the entire internet believes it's seen something it never has. Nobody's seen it, nobody knows if it's real. But word is, Megan may have used the rumor as leverage. A quiet warning to GloRilla to tone things down before anything got out.
Sometimes people only want to be your friend because you have something they want, and they want that to rub off on them. They want to study you and figure you out for the sole purpose of they want to try to be you, but better.
Whether that threat was real or just internet fantasy didn't matter. The seed was planted, and people couldn't stop talking. Blogs ran headlines, fans dissected timelines, and Reddit threads popped up overnight connecting dots that might not even exist. Was Megan bluffing? Was this some kind of industry mind game? Either way, GloRilla's energy changed completely. She suddenly went silent online. No more tweets, no more lives, no more clapping back at shade, just pure quiet. And in this industry, silence is never just silence. It's strategy. It's damage control. Fans immediately started speculating. Maybe the timing wasn't a coincidence. Maybe Megan really did have something and GloRilla was trying to let the chaos die down before it got worse. Screenshots of old photos, backstage videos, and interviews started resurfacing, with people analyzing every frame for proof. The rumor had taken on a life of its own, growing, mutating, spreading faster than anyone could contain it. And that's when things started hitting GloRilla's real life, not just her mentions. Word spread that Brandon Ingram, GloRilla's boyfriend, wasn't happy about any of it. And honestly, who could blame him? Imagine being an NBA star, focused on your season, and suddenly your girlfriend's name is trending worldwide. Not for her music, but for a rumor about a secret tape with her boss. It's the kind of drama no man wants to be dragged into, especially when cameras are on you 24/7. Insiders claim Brandon had been trying to keep things cool in public, but behind the scenes it was a different story. He started keeping his distance, focusing more on the game, less on the spotlight. Friends close to the couple said he didn't want his name tied to industry chaos, not when sponsors and team reps were watching. He didn't sign up for all that noise. And that's when the comparison started. Fans began pulling up old clips, saying the whole thing felt like a deja vu, just like when Megan's ex, Partisan Fontaine, found out about her alleged past with other industry guys during the Tory Lanez trial. That situation had gone off the rails fast, and people online were already predicting history would repeat itself. Once again, it looked like love was taking a hit from fame. Now GloRilla was the one stuck in the middle, trying to protect her image, hold on to her relationship, and keep her focus on the music. But it's hard to stay focused when every post, every tweet, every photo is being pulled apart and analyzed like evidence in a courtroom. Brandon reportedly stopped showing up at her public appearances, and fans noticed. The absence said more than any tweet could. Rumors even started swirling that he'd asked her to tone it down online. But by then it was too late. The story had a life of its own, spinning out of control. And the worst part? This wasn't even about music anymore. It was about power, pride, and who could control the narrative before it controlled them. The tension spilled over into one of the pettiest online battles in recent memory. It didn't take a diss track or a public statement, just one tap on a phone screen. Fans noticed GloRilla had liked a tweet that said, "We all know she started being bitter after she got outsold by GloRilla." That one little heart icon broke the internet. Because yes, both Megan and GloRilla dropped albums around the same time, and GloRilla edged her out by roughly 5,000 copies. A tiny difference on paper, but in fan wars, that's a knockout punch. Almost instantly, people started taking sides. Megan's fans came swinging, calling GloRilla ungrateful, and accusing her of biting the hand that once supported her. Others said GloRilla was just standing her ground, proving she didn't need to play the little sister role anymore. And instead of backing off, GloRilla doubled down. She hit Twitter with the line, "bad as ever," like she was daring Megan to step up and make it official. That tweet spread like wildfire, popping up on every blog, every shade page, every group chat. Meanwhile, their teams were quietly fanning the flames. GloRilla's hairstylist threw shade on Instagram, posting, "Y'all haters are weird, go stream your faves instead of arguing." That wasn't just a random post. Everyone knew exactly who it was aimed at. And over on Megan's side, her crew responded with cryptic captions about fake love, loyalty, and keeping circles small. By then, the entire internet was tuned in like it was a live boxing match. Every emoji, every repost, every subtle move became part of the storyline. What started as a friendship had turned into a digital chess match. Two powerful women playing for dominance while millions watched screenshot by screenshot. Every post became ammo. Every like was a headline. And it wasn't just beef anymore. It was a battle for image, for pride, and for who could stay unbothered the longest. While the internet argued and fan bases threw shade back and forth, people started noticing something deeper. Patterns. Every post, every public gesture from Yo Gotti toward GloRilla seemed a little too personal. He wasn't hiding it anymore. He showed up to her birthday party in Memphis, performed right beside her, and called her queen in front of everyone. Cameras caught the smile she gave him, that look that said this wasn't just business, it was chemistry. At first, fans brushed it off as playful energy between label mates, but then came the gifts. The $200,000 Maybach with a giant red bow on top. The diamond-studded Audemars Piguet watch worth more than most people's houses. These weren't casual tokens of appreciation, they were statements. Public, flashy, undeniable. The internet started to buzz louder. Is this a power move or a love story, people asked. Some said Gotti was just rewarding his artist for success. Others swore they'd seen this movie before. An industry man blurring business and pleasure until both blow up. And that's where the rumor mill went into overdrive. Because if that supposed tape Megan was allegedly sitting on was real, if it really showed GloRilla in a private moment with Gotti and another man, then this wasn't just gossip anymore. It was a ticking time bomb that could blow up careers, contracts, and relationships in one move. Industry insiders claimed the tension behind the scenes was thick. Executives worried about brand deals, PR teams were scrambling to keep things quiet, and both fan bases were sharpening their knives online. The image GloRilla had built, the Memphis girl who came from nothing, the street-smart hitmaker with raw energy, was getting drowned out by whispers of favoritism and scandal. And then there was Brandon. People close to him said he was furious, not just about the rumor itself, but about the idea that everyone around him might have known before he did. Imagine watching the woman you're with trend worldwide for all the wrong reasons, while your teammates and fans are whispering behind your back. That's not just embarrassing, it's humiliating. Now you've got GloRilla trying to hold her career together, Gotti fighting off speculation that could wreck his label's reputation, and Megan standing in the background silent, watching, waiting. Because whether or not that tape exists, the damage has already been done. And deep down, everyone knows once the internet starts connecting dots, it doesn't stop until it finds fire behind the smoke. It's crazy how fast things flip in this industry. One minute, you're everyone's favorite new artist. The next, you're trending for all the wrong reasons. The Megan and GloRilla drama has become bigger than either of them. It's a mirror showing how fame, loyalty, and validation clash in real time. Fans aren't just watching anymore, they're picking sides, forming teams, spreading theories, and fueling the fire with every retweet. And the worst part? The truth almost doesn't matter. In the court of public opinion, whoever gets the loudest wins. So here we are. GloRilla's world spinning under the weight of rumors, Megan standing in the center of the storm, and Yo Gotti's name getting dragged through every headline. What started as a simple courtside appearance turned into a saga about power, jealousy, and fame's hidden cost. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about who's telling the truth. It's about who survives the chaos. The big question now, will Megan really drop that alleged tape? Or was the threat alone enough to remind GloRilla who she's dealing with? And what about Brandon? Can love survive when the internet's watching every move like it's a TV show? One thing's clear, this story isn't done yet. Every new post, every cryptic caption, every silence feels like the calm before the next explosion. The spotlight that made them stars is now burning hotter than ever. And in this industry, once the fire starts, nobody walks away without getting scorched.